Have you ever felt like someone was watching you, keeping track of your every move, and you didn't even realize it? This is the story of the Callahan family from Fircrest, Washington, who were living an ordinary life until one phone call changed everything. It was around 2 a.m. Emily was in deep sleep when suddenly her phone rang. Half asleep, she picked it up. The screen displayed unknown number. "Hello?" she said in a sleepy voice. For a few seconds, there was silence on the other end. Then came a slow, chilling whisper. "I'm watching you." Emily's body went cold. She quickly hung up and shook her husband, Mark, awake. "Mark, someone is calling me," she said, her voice trembling. But Mark dismissed it as a prank and told her to ignore it. The calls became a daily occurrence. Sometimes there was just the sound of breathing, sometimes a slow, eerie laugh. But one night, the caller said something that sent shivers down Emily's spine. "Your daughter Sophie looks so adorable in her blue dress today." Emily's heart sank. She quickly turned to Sophie. Indeed, she was wearing a blue dress. She dropped the phone with shaking hands and screamed for Mark. "He's watching us, Mark. He knows what Sophie is wearing." The police were called, but no evidence was found. Strangely, when they traced the calls, they found they were coming from the Callahan family's own phones, even when they were switched off. Now, the question was, how could someone call from their phone days later? Emily began to feel strange things. She often felt as if someone was watching her, as if someone was inside their house. One evening, while she was standing in front of the bathroom mirror, her phone rang again. "Do you still think you can escape?" The same whisper echoed. Her body froze. She looked at her reflection in the mirror, but something was off. "Mark!" she screamed. Mark rushed in. "What happened?" He's here," she stuttered. Mark picked up her phone, but the screen was blank. No call log, nothing. That night, as they tried to sleep, Emily heard faint movements in their room, a soft rustling sound. She slowly opened her eyes and saw a shadow moving near the window. "Mark," she whispered. Mark immediately turned on the lights, but there was no one there. Shaking with fear, Emily reached for her phone to call the police again, but as soon as she picked it up, a message flashed on the screen. After this incident, the Callahan family left their house. They bought new phones and moved to a new city. For a few weeks, everything seemed fine. But then, one night, Emily's new phone rang. Her hands turned sweaty. Trembling, she answered the call. The sound of breathing. Then, the same whisper. "I found you." What happened next? The police investigated for months, but failed to track down the mysterious caller. Technology experts called it phone hijacking, where someone could remotely control a phone. But the real question remained: who was making these calls? The Callahan family is still searching for answers, but one thing is certain: they will never take their phones for granted again.